quick roundup of some of the other January transfer window points, because obviously those contract situations are dominating things, but there has been some news and rumours coming out. Federico Chiesa's agent has come out and pretty much said he's staying at Liverpool. No real surprise there, is there?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it last time in the, it would be madness really for Liverpool to put so much work into getting him fit and ready and then kind of jettison him, particularly when there are so many opportunities coming up for him now. I mean, you look at, the League Cup double header that's coming up, maybe chances for him there, or particularly in the second leg, maybe that one. The FA Cup game that's coming as well, and you'd expect Liverpool to get through that. So again, there's another round there that Liverpool should be able to use him in. So there's just opportunities to use him, and you'd like to think he can have an impact in the Premier League and the Champions League as well in the second half of the season. I mean, again, that's two games I didn't mention there, the two kind of dead rubbers coming up in the Champions League as well. So you need him. I think you need that rotational option. Salah hasn't had many rests so far this season, and Chiesa's the real obvious replacement for him on that right hand side. So I think that's kind of the aim is to make use of him now. And he does, you see the clips from training. He looks happy. He looks like he's enjoying himself. He will be absolutely chomping at the bit to play more frequently. But I expect now that Liverpool have got him fit and ready, that will be the plan for him. And we will see a lot more of him over the next couple of months, which is exciting because it's, he was an exciting signing and we haven't seen an awful lot of him, but he's, got real potential and he can have an impact. So yeah, very much looking forward to seeing how he gets on.
Yeah, there's also been speculation over Ben Doak. Crystal Palace rumoured to be very interested in him and rumoured to be thinking of an improved £20 million bid. The reports are that Liverpool are holding out for £30 million. Currently on loan at Middlesbrough, of course, doing well there. Had a great couple of international breaks with Scotland towards the back end of last year, which really raised his profile even more and probably added a bit of money to that asking price Liverpool want from him. Ipswich also been interested. What do you make of that? I mean, looks to me like it would be a pretty good deal for all round if they can come to terms on a fee.
Yeah, I mean, they might struggle to get the top end of that valuation, 30 million. Maybe it would be kind of in the high 20s or something like that. If they can get that, it's a great deal, because the fact is that I think the die was kind of cast on this over the summer, that I expected that he would leave in the next two windows. I maybe didn't think it would be in January, actually. I thought because he'd got that season-long loan and it was good for his development that he'd maybe stay there. But it's obviously a real possibility he goes now. But he's clearly going to leave in the next couple of windows. I don't shy away from that fact, because I think Liverpool had decided that he's obviously clearly a big talent. They were right to sign him from Celtic. He has developed since then. He's showing what he's all about in the Championship, but there's just no pathway for him at Liverpool. I mean, you think of the current six forwards that they've got. They've got Chiesa fit now, so he's the obvious replacement for Salah on the right hand side. Doak doesn't really play in the centre forward role, but if he could, there's two there, Nunez and Jota. And obviously that left-hand side's completely locked down by Diaz and Gakpo. So it's just hard to see where you would, even going into next season, where you would give him the minutes to develop, to reach his potential. So he has to go elsewhere to do that. So it does make sense. And he's not kind of a, maybe Harvey Elliott's level when he's been in and around the first team for such a long time, but has been of the level and ready to do that. I don't think Doak is quite there, as impressive as he's been in the Championship. So yeah, it makes sense to kind of move him on now and make a big profit on him. And I don't think it's one that Liverpool will necessarily regret either, because of the options they need and the quality level they are looking for. Doak isn't quite there, but he could be a very, very good player, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on when he does move. But as I say, don't know for a fact if that will be in January, but I expect if it's not in January, he'll definitely move on in the summer.
Yeah, and final rumour to run by you. I mean, this is probably never going to happen in January, but Nunez, there's been a asking price apparently placed on his head, and then rumours towards Alexander Isak. I mean, we've spoken about Nunez before. I think we both sort of would advocate for a move away and replacing him with someone. And Isak, I mean, he's been incredible for him. That would be a big upgrade. What do you see from those rumours?
Yeah, so with Nunez, I think we spoke before about the fact that I expect him to move on in the summer. I think Liverpool, even if they got a decent offer in January, might be a little wary, just because they'll think we're in 4 competitions at the moment. Want to kind of keep that going, and he is an option, even though he's struggled a little bit. I didn't think he was great at the weekend, by the way. But you know, I think keeping a body around is probably seen as important. So they might be a little bit reluctant to do that deal in January. But I've heard talk about, you know, Liverpool would be willing to sell for around 55, 60 million. I think it would absolutely snap your hand off if they got anything close to that. I think it's going to be lower than that. But I do think they're definitely gearing up to sell him in the summer. It just clearly hasn't worked out. And I also think the player himself wants to play more frequently than he is doing. So I would expect that he'd move on in the summer, more so probably than the January. But interesting that there's already rumours about interest in him, and that, you know, I think there will be a market for him, because as disappointing as he's been for Liverpool, he's still got decent number of goals, decent number of assists. He's you know, and I think it could work out for him in a kind of slightly weaker league. So I think there will be a market for him, but I think it's quite clear now that he will be moved on in the summer at the latest. You know, albeit I think Liverpool will be reluctant in January, as I say, for the reasons of just keeping an extra body around.